They say the early 2000s were a simpler time for anime, when things didn't need to be wrapped in a think piece, sanitized for Western audiences, or filtered through 10 layers of cultural guilt. Back then, a show could open with a naked girl ripping men in half using invisible arms and not have to explain itself. No apologies, no justifications, just pure unadulterated chaos. And yes, someone somewhere always whined, won't somebody think of the children? Well, too bad. Because this show answered that question with, for kids. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Damon, and today we're diving headfirst into one of the most infamous anime bloodbaths of all time. A show that dares to mix saccharine sweetness with head-popping horror. A show that could have been so much more if someone had handed it a second season, a longer run, or maybe just a writing room that wasn't sniffing glue. Yes, it's time we talked about the unmentionable, the unforgettable, the emotionally unstable roller coaster of carnage that made a generation of anime fans go, what the hell did I just watch? This anime, set in Kamakura and Kanagawa, focuses on a newly mutated species known as the Diclonius. Human-like but easily spotted by their horn-like protrusions, they're walking science experiments gone rogue, armed with invisible telekinetic vectors that can slice, stab, or crush anything and anyone in reach. If the sight of someone's head being twisted off like a bottle cap bothers you, turn back now. Our main character is Lucy, the queen of this deadly species. She escapes from a containment facility in the bloodiest prologue since Saving Private Ryan and ends up washed ashore with a case of traumatic amnesia, giving birth to her innocent, toddler-brained alter ego, Niyu. She's picked up by two uni students, Kouta and his cousin Yuka, who take her in, and from there the story becomes a tug-of-war between horror, heartbreak, and the human ability to forgive the unforgivable. Let's be honest, the show's logic is held together with wet tissue. Vector virus, silpulets, sterile psychic mutants born from infected dads? Sure, it's barely explained and mostly hand-waved, but you're not watching this show for grounded realism. You're watching it because at any moment someone's spine could be ejected from their body like a party popper. The tone is unapologetically bleak, sometimes to a fault. This series doesn't dabble in darkness, it bathes in it. You've got dismemberment, eye gouging, abuse, existential trauma, and more nudity than a sauna in Amsterdam. But what sets it apart from being just gore for the sake of gore is its earnest, almost childlike desire to be meaningful. Every time you start to write it off as edgy nonsense, it sucker punches you with a moment of genuine emotional weight. Lucy and Kouta's relationship is the beating heart of the series, and it asks questions few shows have the guts to. Can you forgive the person who murdered your family if they were broken long before they broke you? Can trauma justify monstrous actions? And, more importantly, should it? It's not expertly written, it's not even particularly well-paced, but, the characters just drip with pathos. They're wounded, scarred, lashing out, and clinging to each other in desperation. It's raw, jagged storytelling, like someone tried to write a romance novel using a chainsaw and a bottle of sake. But that's kind of why it works. Now here's where the real tragedy comes in. This was supposed to be longer. The manga was still ongoing when the anime was made. Director Mamoru Kanbei was recommended to take on the project, and while initially reluctant, he became emotionally invested after reading the manga. The production team knew 13 episodes wasn't enough to do the source material justice, but they were stuck cramming a sprawling, emotionally complex, psychotic sci-fi opera into a lunchbox. And it shows. Entire subplots are dropped, character arcs feel rushed, emotional beats that should leave you sobbing end up skimming your skin because there's just no time. What could have been a gripping two-season psychological horror epic is instead a single frantic burst of violence and tears. Imagine if this had gotten the Death Note treatment, 26 episodes, a breathing room of character development, time to explore the Diclonius lore, and flashbacks that don't feel like filler. We could have had arcs, real arcs, for characters like Bando, Nana, or Mariko. Lucy's split personalities could have been explored properly instead of being plot devices, and that infamous ending, it wouldn't have felt like an abrupt thud. It would have landed with emotional weight. This is an anime crying to be remade like Hellsing. With the rise of streaming and the anime resurgence, this is exactly the kind of property that deserves a prestige reboot. Keep the tone, clean up the logic, expand the story, and let it breathe. Elfen Lied is messy, emotional, ridiculous, and honestly unforgettable. It opens with nudity and entrails and somehow manages to become a love story, one that punches you in the gut and asks, still care about her? It's not perfect, but it doesn't care. It's raw, it's real, it's a glittering dumpster fire, and yeah, I love it. So, here's the final word. Elfen Lied isn't just a cult classic, it's a bloody, broken masterpiece that deserved better. A second draft, a second season, hell, a second chance. Thanks for dropping by the Snake Pit, where we thrive on untapped potential and lost opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell like the video, and leave your opinions in the comments, where, naturally, I won't read them. Until next time, stay venomous.